Ever get this like weird feeling that you're already living out a manifestation, but like maybe not the one you actually ordered?
Mm-hmm.
We're diving into that today. And this Bashar video, wow.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind.
A lot of really interesting stuff in his work. What I find fascinating about this video in particular is how it almost like flips the script on manifestation.
Okay.
It's not about learning to manifest. It's about realizing you're already doing it
Right.
constantly,
Okay.
every moment, just by being conscious.
So that's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean like we're responsible for everything that happens to us? I mean, I get that our thoughts and feelings have energy, but this whole physical persona idea,
Right.
that's next level.
It's interesting how he uses that phrase, right?
Yeah.
This idea that your beliefs, your emotions, even those thought patterns that you get in, those ruts, they all create this frequency.
Okay.
It's like your own personal radio signal going out into the universe.
Okay, so if I'm like constantly stressing out about deadlines, that's like I'm broadcasting on the frequency of stressed and overwhelmed, and then more of that is just going to show up in my life.
You're tuned into that station,
Right.
so to speak.
Okay.
You're going to pick up those vibes. You attract what you are, not necessarily what you consciously desire.
See, that's both empowering and terrifying.
Right.
At the same time, right?
Right.
But how does this broadcasting actually play out? Like, how does my inner world actually become my outer reality?
So the video describes this really intriguing process of reflection.
Okay.
Essentially, your state of being, it's constantly interacting with the fabric of reality.
Yeah.
So it's like your frequency, it's bouncing back at you,
Okay.
creating this personalized experience.
Wait, so it's not just me like sending out these signals into the void.
Right.
It's a two-way street.
Right.
It's like a constant feedback loop
Exactly.
between me and the universe.
Yes, and
Yeah.
this is where it gets even more wild. This reflection. It's not just appearing randomly. It's being filtered through something that Bashar calls the prime belief,
Okay.
which is that fundamental assumption
Okay.
that we all kind of have, that this is real.
Okay, so I'm tuned into my own personal radio station. I'm broadcasting my vibes. I'm getting this reflection back that's filtered through this is real lens.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. You ever notice how stress can feel so real?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a physical weight.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the prime belief at work making the intangible tangible?
It's a great observation.
Mm.
And it really speaks to the power of this whole concept.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could consciously direct that power.
Right.
If you could choose what feels real to you.
That's where manifestation gets really interesting, right? Because if I'm creating all of this, maybe, just maybe, I can, I don't know, start to change the channel, so to speak. But how do we break free from a belief that's so deeply ingrained? I mean, it's like our brains are hardwired to believe what we see, what we experience.
Yeah, you're right. It's not always easy. But, the videos suggest that as we evolve, our awareness of this prime belief, it can grow.
Okay.
And that's where things get really, really interesting in terms of conscious manifestation.
So instead of being like unconsciously glued to one station, we start to realize we have the remote control.
Yes.
We can choose a different frequency, a different experience.
Precisely. It's like realizing the remote was always there.
Okay.
We just didn't know how to use it.
Right.
And the video actually gives us some powerful tools
Okay.
to start experimenting with.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me more about these tools. How do we start to change the channel?
Well, one of the most intriguing concepts that he introduces in this video is a manifestation space.
Okay.
So imagine like a resonant point within you where reality is constantly being woven, where your thoughts and beliefs, they take on a life of their own.
Okay, I'm really trying to wrap my head around this whole manifestation space thing. It's like, what is this? A cosmic 3D printer inside my mind.
It's a powerful analogy.
That's taking all my thoughts and my beliefs, my energy, and just like turning them into my reality.
Yeah, and the video, it actually suggests one way to kind of consciously interact with this space.
Okay.
It's just through, have you ever heard of scripting?
Scripting, yeah, like writing out your desires as if they've already happened.
Exactly, yeah. You're creating this like detailed, emotionally charged narrative
Okay.
of your desired experience.
Okay.
Right. And it's the act of writing it down, feeling the emotions as if it's already real. That's you sending a clear, potent signal into your manifestation space.
Oh, wow.
So you're providing the blueprint
Okay.
to your cosmic 3D printer.
So it's not just like wishful thinking. It's like you're consciously like putting energy behind it, like intention. But let's talk about this whole time thing for a second.
Okay.
The video mentions like faster manifestations, even like breaking free from linear time. Like, is that even possible?
Right. It's a very mind-bending concept.
It is.
But consider this. What if our perception of time is this straight line, right? What if that's just another aspect of the this is real belief?
Oh, wow.
You know, what if by becoming aware of this manifestation space, we can actually start to influence the timing of events in our lives?
No. Okay.
And that's where the synchronicity comes in. Those meaningful coincidences that just seem to defy the odds.
So, okay, if I'm understanding this right, by tapping into this space, I can start to like collapse timelines and like make things happen faster because I'm no longer bound by this like limited perception of how things should unfold.
Exactly. It's about aligning with the energy of what you desire.
Yeah.
And trusting that the universe will orchestrate the details in a way that might seem, miraculous from our very limited perspective.
That's incredible. But it also kind of makes you wonder, like, if we're all capable of this, then why aren't we all just like living out our dream lives?
Right.
Like, what's the catch?
That's the million-dollar question. And I think it really comes back to awareness. I think most of us are still operating on autopilot, unaware of the power that we actually possess.
Yeah.
We're so used to focusing on the external,
right,
trying to force things to happen. We forget that the real magic happens within.
So it's about shifting from a place of like making it happen to allowing it to be.
Yes.
That's a big shift.
It is a profound shift.
Yeah.
And it requires a certain level of trust.
Right.
Trust in ourselves, trust in the process, and trust in something, bigger than ourselves that we're all a part of.
Speaking of something bigger, the video also mentions that aligning with our true vibration through conscious manifestation, it benefits not just us, but like the collective as a whole. Can you kind of elaborate on that a bit?
Absolutely. It's like this beautiful ripple effect. When you step into your power, when you start manifesting from a place of authenticity and joy, it raises the vibration for everyone around you.
Wow.
It's like you're adding more light to the collective consciousness.
I love that. So like manifesting from a place of service.
Yes.
Of contributing to something bigger than ourselves. It's like it adds a whole other layer of purpose.
Yes.
To the whole thing.
Exactly. And it speaks to the interconnectedness of everything.
Right.
We're not just these isolated individuals all striving for our own personal gain.
Yeah.
We're all part of this grand tapestry of consciousness. And our individual manifestations, they have the power to influence the whole.
Wow. That's both humbling and empowering at the same time.
It is.
But if we're all connected and like our thoughts have this ripple effect, doesn't that also mean that we're like constantly being bombarded by the energy of others, their fears, their limitations, all of that? So how do we navigate that?
That is such an important question. And it brings us to, I think, a fundamental principle of manifestation: discernment.
Discernment. So it's not just about like amplifying our own signal, but also being kind of like picky, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
About what frequencies we're tuning into.
Exactly. It's about becoming conscious of the energy that we're allowing into our space.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You wouldn't walk into a crowded room and just absorb every single conversation, every emotion that's swirling around.
Yes.
You'd naturally gravitate towards the energy that resonates with you, that feels good, that feels uplifting.
Right. Okay.
It's the same with manifestation.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we become more discerning, especially when it comes to like energy that's not so easy to like see or hear?
Well, the video talks about the importance of cultivating a strong connection to your inner guidance system, your intuition.
Okay.
It's about learning to trust that quiet voice within.
Right.
That always knows what's best for you, that can guide you towards the experiences and the people that are aligned with your highest good.
Intuition, that inner compass.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what about this whole "this is real" belief?
Right.
How do we even begin to like loosen the grip of something that is so like fundamental to our experience of being alive?
Well, the video offers a really fascinating perspective on this. Bashar contrasts the permanence of our true selves, our essence, with the impermanence of the physical world.
Okay.
And he suggests that this impermanence itself is actually a clue. Think about it. If the physical world were truly real, like in the absolute sense, wouldn't it be unchanging?
Right.
This constant flux, this cycle of creation and destruction, it points to the possibility that consciousness, our consciousness, might play a more significant role than we realize.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So if we're not just these like physical beings, if there's this other like more permanent aspect of ourselves, does that mean we kind of like chose to buy into this temporary reality? Like we agreed to play by the rules of the game, knowing it's all just a grand illusion?
That's one way to look at it, and it circles back to the idea of conscious creation.
Okay.
If we can become more aware of our true nature, our inherent power, then maybe we can start to consciously choose the rules of the game.
Right.
Create an experience that's more aligned with our deepest desires.
So to bring it back to manifestation then, like if we can start to grasp this concept of impermanence, if we can start to see through the illusion a little bit, does that make it easier to manifest things in the physical world?
It's not necessarily about making it easier in the traditional sense. It's more about, I think, shifting our perspective.
Okay.
Instead of trying to force things to happen.
Right.
We start to align with the energy of what we desire.
Okay.
And trust that the universe will orchestrate the details in a way that might seem miraculous.
Right.
From a very limited perspective.
It's like we're loosening our grip on the reality factor.
Exactly.
Allowing for more flexibility, more magic to unfold.
Exactly. And with that loosening, we might find that what we manifest not only aligns with our desires, but it actually exceeds our wildest expectations.
This has been incredible. So much to ponder, so much to like wrap our heads around and explore.
Right.
It really feels like if we can become more aware of our prime belief, that manifestation space that's humming within us, that the possibilities are truly, truly endless.
They are.
It's like a journey of self-discovery and pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible. And who knows what incredible experiences we'll create along the way, right?